Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I need to hear an answer. MashaAllah. See, you're so active. And if you want to get into marriage, you have to be active. Otherwise, That's why we're looking, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa tabi'ina lahum bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin. اللهم اجعل اجتماعنا هذا اجتماعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل فينا ولا معنا ولا من بيننا شقيا ولا محروما يا رب العالمين. So we need to open with this dua to have a blessing of the meeting. We are in the Masjid of Allah Azza wa Jal. Therefore we have inshallah peace and tranquility. The angels are surrounding us because we remember Allah Azza wa Jal in this beautiful and blessed day of Jumu'ah. As Sheikh Abu Uthman already said, mashallah, you have Friday the 9th. 8th. You can cheat, brother. It's right there. Maybe not big enough to read, but today is the 28th of Jumada al-Akhirah, the second Jumada, and 1439, corresponding to the 16th of March 2018. Alhamdulillah. Now, this is a very, very good topic for me. I like to talk about it. Since I'm not personally involved in this, I need to put aside my personal life, whether it's happy or has some troubles, problems, well, the nature. Because for me is to go and pave the road for happiness, inshallah. If I can today, with your help, we will reach into, inshallah, the ultimate happiness, inshallah. Because Sheikh Asim coming later on will deal with all the troubles. And he said, okay, I'll make marriage, you make talaq. Astaghfirullah. No need for talaq. Because we don't want to, you know, one day, a man came to a wedding ceremony and he wanted to give an advice and he talked about marriage. And then he started to talk about talaq and said, what? On the day of ceremony, of wedding, you're talking about talaq, astaghfir. Don't even mention it. Don't bring it along. The idea, akhi, I hope today you are happy and gay. Agree? Can you be happy and gay? Remember this saying by Sheikh Ahmad rahimahullah. One day, he said, you know, they used to greet each other and saying, and you know, I hope you are happy and gay, because the word gay, G-A-Y, used to mean happy. Go and check it in the dictionary. But nowadays the word has changed into something different, as you can see. It's misguidance, deviation from the fitrah, and doing something terrible morally. And therefore, this is not what a Muslim is about, but we are in the original sense of being happy and gay. All right? Inshallah. Now, this topic, are we doing this? Okay, we go to the next one. Now, let me ask you, I don't know whether you have papers, right? Can you write on your cell phone or your piece of paper? I need every one of you kindly, because this is a workshop. Answer these questions honestly and rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. Okay? 5 questions, and I can get more from you. Okay? What makes a marriage happy? And you scale the following: enough money and income, because normally we know in a marriage money makes a big issue, and there's always a discussion. Sometimes people get into conflict because not having enough money or income for the family. Or who's spending? And why don't you share with me? And that sort of thing. So, give it a scale from 1 to 10 for you. Do you think that having enough money and income is important for happy marriage? So that's number one, right? Everyone got it? You have your own. Great. Secondly, health and look of the partner. He's healthy, he's well, he looks handsome, she looks beautiful, everything is fine, I'm happy with it. How does that constitute? Do you think that, okay, can you marry sort of a, not, I wouldn't say UGLY, but somebody who's, mashallah, who can, you know, you can live with? Or you can live with a wife and assuming that men are tough and macho, okay? But women are supposed to be, you know, soft and nice and all that. And we assume that every woman should be beautiful and looking great and sharp and all that stuff. Now, how important that is to you personally. Thirdly, partner's personality or character. What do they like? What do they not like? How's their manner of conduct? Do you think this is important? How important it is? Is it 1? 1, of course, the lower and the lower scale. 10 would be the top. So for you, if it's very important, you give it a 10 out of 10 or less. And then mutual confidence. Do we trust each other? Do we have a trust in between us? Are we really assured of each other? We have no doubts, no things hidden that maybe the husband is doing or the wife is doing, and you're not really getting along because of that. Is that important? Mutual confidence. And to keep it going, this is important, okay? And then I delayed this factor. I assume it's an important factor, which is the degree of commitment to the deen, religiosity as they call it in social studies. But for us Muslims, we can say degree of commitment to the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal. Now, how does that rate for you? Okay. Now, these are 5. If you give them everyone, you give them a 10, you'll get a degree of, or a grade of what, 50? If less, then of course, if you have 1 for each one, then we have a 5. So we could have a 5, or we could have 50, or any number in between. Now, let me add anything that I can get from you which was not mentioned here. Do you think there is an important factor of happiness in any marriage that we can add that I did not include in this list? I talked about money or income, health and look, personality or character, confidence, and religiosity, a degree of being committed to the deen. So, anything else? Can I get a feedback? Anything, can you think of anything that has to be there in order to contribute to happiness in marriage? What would it be? Any idea? Fair enough. Let's deal with these 5. Now, for those, because it's difficult to get everyone's grade, but let's see enough money or income for the family. Who gives it from 8 to 10? Can I see hands up? 8 to 10. Who gave it 8 to 10? Okay, few people. Very good. Who gave it 4 to 7? Okay. And who gave it less than 4, like 1 to 3? Anyone? Okay, so it's in the middle. All right, fair enough, fair enough. Let's go to the second one. Health and look of the partner. Again, for those who rate it from 8 to 10, who are they? Okay, again, few. And then from 4 to 7. Okay, more people. And what about 1 to 3? Oh, very few. So, mashallah, you like handsomeness and beauty, huh? Very good. Let's see the personality or the character. Who gives it 1 to 3? 1 to 3, the lower part of the scale. Nobody. What about in the middle, from 4 to 7? 1. What about from 8 to 10? Allahu Akbar, majority. Oh, look at that. I think you're hitting the nail there on the head. MashaAllah. All right. Then let's go to number 4, mutual confidence. If I have confidence in my partner, we trust each other, then that's going to contribute to a happy marriage. Who gives it 4 to 7? In the middle. 4 to 7. Just 1. What about 1 to 3? Nobody. 8 to 10. Who gives it a 10, please? 10. Wow. Who gives it 9? Huh? Close. Who gives it 8? All right. So you're almost there, but many people are saying 10 is important. Let me see degree of commitment to the deen. Degree of commitment in your partner. How does it contribute to a happy marriage? Who gives it 4 to 7 in the middle? 4 to 7, nobody. 1 to 3, nobody. 8 to 10, how about 8? Few. 9, more. 10. Oh boy, you're divided between 9 and 10. All right, let's go into this one by one. Attaining happiness in marriage. Attaining happiness in marriage. How do we do that? Let's see. We're going to. I think you're scoring between, I would say, 35 and 50, right? For all the 5 factors, right? If you go and get the score, the whole score, right? If you can add all the individual scores, you reach between 40 and 50 for most of you, right? 40 to 50, fair enough. Okay, let's see. All right. Let me tell you from research and experience that if you need to be happy as a couple, you need to have a shared Iman and love. What do I mean by that? Some people may think that, okay, shared Iman, we know that, okay? You believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you have the basic principles of being a Muslim, so assuming that this is fine, okay. But what about love? What does it mean? Loving each other? Loving each other? Does that sound okay? Loving somebody else? Loving the parents? What do I mean by love? Again, can anyone give me an answer? Yeah, that's it. Love of Allah. Wallahi, if you're doing it for Allah's sake, you'll feel so happy. Why? Because look, marriage is like going on a bandwagon or going on this wagon, and you're together in this. And the road is not easily paved. In life, this is the nature of being in a car or a carriage all together. There'll be a tough road, there'll be hills, and there'll be downstream, you go up and down, you go on the side of the street, and then the car might get broken on the way. So this is the nature of marriage. Some people are just very ideal about marriage. They say, okay, I'm going into heaven. Not necessarily. Because if you make it for Allah's sake, if you want to please Allah, if you want to follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and then you get married based on these principles, then you can bear any trouble that may come up on the way. This will make it happy. It will console yourself. Because sometimes, look, you know, I know some cases where people were, mashallah, happy, healthy, everything is nice, then an accident happened. And one of the two got crippled, disabled. Now you have to live with it. Some people give up. They say, okay, sorry, you're not my partner anymore. I need a healthy husband, I need a healthy wife. Why should I take care of you? Let your family take care of you. See? But if you say, La ilaha illallah, this is a test from Allah for me, and I can live with it, and I can adjust my life, my belief, everything, and I will make this marriage a happy one, a successful one, even with the disadvantages, the disability that would happen to my marriage. That's a commitment to this marriage, because you're doing it for Allah's sake, not for the sake of a human being. Yes, it would be painful, we can understand that. You have to take care of her, or you take care of him, and you put them in a wheelchair, and you have to feed them, you have to take care of them. But look how many hasanat are coming to you if you're doing it for Allah's sake. If you're doing it for pleasure, maybe you don't like it. Maybe you'll get bored, you'll get tired after some time. But that's when you make everything for Allah's sake. Okay, happy moments, alhamdulillah, we share it together. Then, if you have bad times, you have things that are tough and difficulties, we can go along together in this trip. And then this will make happiness is not found in the materialistic things. Food, a nice house, beautiful children. Yes, they add to that. But happiness is inside here. Unless you have it inside your heart, it's not going to make you happy at all. Happiness is something here. And this can be coming from here and the heart, and be kept inside. Materialistic things are probably health. They could be helping, they could be adding to happiness, but they're not the real happiness. This is passivity. You know, this is a passive happiness. They can, for the moment, you like to share for the moment. You know, people think, I don't know, we don't have so many young people here, but they think of marriage as something like, okay, I want to enjoy, you know, the relationship, the intimate relationship. Okay, well, how does it last? An intimate relationship, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then what? Bah, it's over. So life is not based on that. Marriage is not based on that. Yes, it's important. We have to satisfy that need. But look at what Quran says in the beginning, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا, created for you mates from among yourselves, from inside you, لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا, so that you may find peace in them. Sukun or sakina, tranquility and peace. That's peace of mind, peace of heart, enjoyment. لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً, and He created among two of you, among you, meaning husbands and wives, mawadda. Mawadda is even a greater word than just love. It's more than that. It's deep love, mawadda, which I would not find in the English dictionary. So mawadda is so strong word. Wa rahma, and then the mercy, because mawadda is coming out of you. Mercy maybe because, okay, you sympathize and you feel like, okay, I have to have mercy, because mercy is built inside us as humans. So Allah created us in such a fashion as to be able to express this mawadda, this deep love for our partners. But then if we take it to a higher degree, where we love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and based on our iman and commitment and submission to Allah, it will make a great difference in the marriage. And that's why it's so important to have it based on iman and love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All right? Let's go to the next one. What does it say? What does it say? Responsibility and seriousness. Come on, tell me, marriage is supposed to be nice and happy and enjoyment. Why are we doing it responsibility? Well, everything has to be met with responsibility. You see, nowadays, if you go to statistics and see the ratio of divorces as to the ratio of marriages, what would you think the ratio would be? What would be? If we have 10 marriages, then how many divorces would we have in a year or two? What? Can you tell me? You raise your hand? Yeah?
Yes,
5? Out of 10, 5? That's 50%, right? 50%. Do you agree? 2%? 1%? The average is more than 50%. This is the known cases which reach the courts or the lawyers, the marriage lawyers, or people who are in the legal system in order to settle the difference. And normally, it's within the first or second year of marriage. If we sail along in the marriage for about 2 to 3 years, normally, alhamdulillah, we get saved. The trouble is the first and the second year. If we are able to get along in that period and we start to understand each other, then yes, we'd be successful. But nowadays, people are coming with different expectations. And let me tell you this rule. This is a general rule for everything. I learned this from the media, where I studied in the US. Because they said, the higher the expectation would be, the higher the frustration will be. Meaning, if you have high expectations of the marriage, and sometimes you're faced with nitty-gritty stuff, you know, things that are not very, very strong or big in your life, but then they start to, you know, make marriage really troublesome, and at the end you might have a problem getting along with each other because you had this high expectation. Subhanallah, in the earlier times, divorce was not very high among the Muslims. Although they're not having a life like this where you're able to see the women, you can see her in places, in general places, maybe now with co-education and everything. You know, people mix with each other and they can see each other. Students can see each other on campus, or they can see them in the street, or can see them in the mall, or can see. There are many chances to see each other or to learn more about each other. And yet, there before, they would not know who's there. Who would my partner would be? You know, and just after the arranged marriage and the family comes and they talk to, you know, the parents of the bridegroom and, you know, the bride, and it gets along. And they get along very well because of the mental tuning of marriage in their minds. Today, the young people, or even people of some middle age, they say, no, 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 I need this, 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 and they start creating a big list of demands and expectations from the marriage. I need this, smart, clean, nice, very efficient, good communicator, someone who manages the house very well. Oh boy, mashallah. Where do you want this to come from? From Mars? Or the moon? Or some other planet? Or you want someone who's from here? From your community, from your society. It's a product of what we have, of our culture. So don't have high expectations. You make the life together as partners. That's why it's a responsibility. We grow together. We may be having difficulties. She would have some deficiency here and there. You do have some deficiencies here and there. And then you start to understand each other in the beginning, and then you grow together. And you build happiness. Happiness doesn't come from the first day. It's the outcome of some good work that you do together as couple. If we do that, inshallah, there is a great probability for a happy and lasting marriage for many years. You'd be wondering, you see some people sometimes when they do some reports on people who've been married for 50, 60, 70 years, mashallah. Well, and they ask them about the secret. How did this marriage last? I said, well, we understood each other. We know each other. Well, this didn't come from the first day. Alhamdulillah, in Islam, you don't have to go and get out with a girl. She gets out with you and you know more about each other. That's why in the liberal societies, they have so many relationships. And today he's with this girl or boy, and tomorrow they're with another one, and they don't like this and they don't like that. They just keep changing. So we are in the middle. We're not like the liberals. We're not like the Catholics who say it's, you have only one chance. If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, miss it, that's it. You're not anymore a good and lucky person. That's the important thing, is to come with an expectation, and you build the relationship, you build your house together. Aha. What is this? Communication and dialogue, not analog or monologue. Monologue, when they say a monologue, you sing to yourself, okay? That's a monologue. But communication has to have two sides, and with a clear intent as what I want to say and what I want to communicate, either verbally or non-verbally. Communication can be verbal. I can speak, I can write, or I can just give expressions, right? But communication is a very powerful tool. And sometimes we do not communicate. The most threatening thing to any marriage is lack of communication. I'm not talking to you. Hey, Assalamu alaikum. Please. No words. But even giving a long message to the partner. Yes, you can understand that sometimes silence is important. It helps at times. But most of the time, it's better than, hey, yeah, you're so bad. You're not well educated. Your family did not bring you right. Yeah, just like you. And then the fight started. Back and forth. Fire. Choo, 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 choo. What happens? There's a problem of communication. We're fighting, we're not communicating. See, if you want to have positive effective communication, you have to send the right message and get the right message. Try to understand, because in conflict we have this ego, myself, my dignity, my honor, my respect. You're not showing respect to me, and that sort of thing. Okay, if you humble yourself, if you say, okay, calm. That's why when a man came to the Prophet ﷺ, he asked him about an advice. Maybe he saw in this man readiness to get angry easily. He can be provoked easily. He said, "La taghdab, do not get angry." 3 times. He said to him, "Do not get angry." Wow, the best advice. Why? Because when we're angry, we're not in control of ourselves. Yes, we know what's going on, but sometimes we get out of the blue. We just started to mumble things and to say things, and then we remind you later on, and I wish that there's a recorder and a camera to record when there's a fight between the man and the women in the house, and see what is happening there. Wow, you think, did I say that? Did I act in this way? It looks bad, it looks terrible. Well, you did it. So communication, of course, it does take training. It doesn't come easily, especially if we do not learn how to control things and start to communicate positively. See, communication, wallahi, it makes your day. If you wake up in the morning after dhikr and after you offer salah, if you're a man, you go to the masjid. If you're a woman, you stay in your musalla and you already prayed and you started reading Quran and you make, the morning dhikr and all this, mashallah. You see, you feel some peace within yourself. And then you greet your partner, assalamu alaikum, good morning, how are you today? Did you have a good sleep? And you can talk about this, and then at the end of maybe even during the day when he's at work, or you're busy with the kids, and they send great messages in between, over the phone, on WhatsApp, and whatever. Say nice words. I love you, dear. How are you? I hope the kids are not bothering you. Oh, I hope your boss is not really giving you trouble. What do you want me to cook for you today? Wow, what a nice wife. Anything, dear. You can do whatever. See, if we start communicating positively, how is this going to be affecting our mood? And how this will be so beautiful. And you'll so much come house. Like I tell you, sometimes we get frustrated when we go in the street, and if something is troubling our mind, and we meet somebody and said, well, you don't look right today. Why you say, yeah, I look bad, right? And then he met another person, his situation has gotten worse, and people can read that in your face. Oh yeah, you look. And then you come home, and immediately as you enter, assalamu alaikum, what is happening? Why? Today you look so bad. Even you're saying this? Everybody is saying that to me. See? Because he met the first one, and he gave him a bad message. He gave him a negative message. He started to build on that. And then everyone else, instead of saying, alhamdulillah, take it easy, brother. What's happening? Hey, alhamdulillah, you're okay. And then you come home, and even if the wife sees the husband coming tired and not, something is annoying him and so on, say, hey, mashallah, what's happening? Let me get your coat, okay? I'll take your bag. I'll help you along. What do you mean to do? Okay, bring him a cup of coffee, bring him a tea, bring him something to make him relaxed, a glass of lemon, whatever. The point is, make him feel home and relaxed. And then whatever happens afterwards is going to be a smooth road. The reason is communication. Verbally and non-verbally. It's going to make a difference. That's why we emphasize that all the time. You need, even if there's a serious talk, sometimes we get into serious, because I have a position, I have an idea, I need to talk about something important, either the kids or the school or the money or the grocery or cleaning the house or fixing something that needs to be fixed in the house. So yeah, they'll be, but we need to communicate all the time so that we can reach into a middle way, into a solution. All right. Well, what is this? Partners and not parts. What does that mean? I need someone to explain to me. Please, explain to me. What do you understand from this? Okay? What is it? Partners and not parts.
Well, they are humans, not machines.
They are humans, not machines. And therefore, what? Partners. We share together. We're not the same part of you. I don't belong necessarily to you. I should not be you. I am myself and you are yourself. And we make partnership. That's the basic idea. But some people, some women, some men insist that the other person is part of them. They should be controlled, possessed. You have to have assertiveness, which is confidence in yourself. Fine. You have your own personality. Unless if I give you your own room to move around, I respect you as a person, I respect your dignity, your honor, your personality, your even spatial area around you. I let you move around because you are a different person. Even a man and a woman, even later on they make, mashallah, they could be part of each other. But that comes later on, if they agree to that. But in the beginning, you should act like partners, because partnership, azwaj, zawj. Zawj in Arabic means two, not one. Right? You can never be the same person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made you identical, you know, unique. Not necessarily identical like anyone else, but rather unique. You have your own personality or of your own way to deal with things and so on. But I can make a nice, mashallah, partnership that even we look so, you know, happy and getting along very well, and we understand each other, and we, you know, have the hopes together, deal with frustrations together. That's partnership. It's like two companies making a partnership, or two people making a business together. If they need the business successful, they will have to understand each other, give each one a particular percentage. And normally it's like 50-50. If you are two partners, then it's 50-50. It cannot be 60 and 40. It cannot be 70 and 30. It has to be 50-50. 50-50 in a way that, okay, that doesn't mean that a woman has to spend on the house like the man does. No. It's the personality, it's the responsibility that we talked about, that they can make this marriage work for you if it's like partnership and not being part of one another. All right? What is this? MashaAllah. Comfort for the eye. What does that mean? Can you find that in the glorious Quran? Where? What does it say in Quran? رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَاجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Oh, mashallah. قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ. If you look at them, you're so pleased. See, that's the most important thing. Is you're so happy and tranquil that if you see the other person, your eye wants to keep looking, staring, because they're mashallah, so organized, so clean, so nice, so well behaved, all of these good things. And of course, if they can be a comfort, that's why, you know, in the earlier times, maybe in some societies thought that it's only the women who should get more, you know, well looking, prepared and all that. What about you, man? You need to do the same thing for her as she does this for you. It's just like that. It's again the partnership. And one of the Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim, I think it's Ibn Abbas, he said, it's not like this. She likes to see you in a good way as you like to see her in a good and beautiful way. Looking, just looking. Assume you come to the house and it's really so bad, you know. Things are not in their places and it's dirty and the dishes are not done and things look bad in the house. Now, instead of starting an argument, maybe she's sick today. Maybe she had some work. Maybe this. There could be tens of reasons for not having the place organized. Instead of saying, you're not doing this, what have you been doing all day? Okay, not caring about children, not caring about the food and the many other things. And she's a human being. She has her own, you know, troubles and personal things that probably are not helping, especially if that's not the way she is as a person, as a wife. Instead of that, what do you think we can fix this? And you start, even without talking, you can go ahead and start doing things. Go to the kitchen and, you know, raise your hand and say, start washing the dishes. Oh boy, dear, please, I can do it. No, okay, you've been doing it for many days and years and months. I can do it. You know, the Prophet ﷺ used to do that himself, alayhi salatu wasalam. He's the leader of the ummah, and yet he could be doing all this. He could be doing his, you know, sewing his own clothes. He will be even fixing anything that is that needs some fixing inside the house. He will go and get something from the market himself. He will do the shopping. You see, that's how we can share together as a family, and I think that will make our life so easy and happy if we share it together. But sometimes we feel like you're the boss. The husband is the boss, and he's supposed to give orders, and the wife is supposed to be, okay, doing this and responding to everything you say. This is not how a happy marriage is going to be. You'll always have confrontations, you'll always have arguments, you'll always have problems because of this attitude. And you know, it's little things that can make a difference. Little things. And believe me, this is going to make it really a comfort for the eye, for both of you. Okay. I'm getting there. I'm not going to take you for long. I know we need to get to the next session. Wow. Matchmaking. Allahu Akbar. May Allah make it easy. All right? So if you have some idea and you want to find someone, okay, then you start to think, but don't have high expectations, brothers and sisters. Let me tell you this, taqwa in conflict. What is taqwa in conflict? When we have a conflict, are conflicts avoidable in marriage, in a happy marriage? Are they? No, they won't be conflicts. Look at the house of the Prophet ﷺ. Did they have any conflict? Yes, they did. Did they have any, you know, ups and downs? Yes, they did. But it's how you deal with it is what is needed for a happy marriage. Not that you don't have anything. think that every day life is sailing very well and there's no wind and no trouble. As if you are just like in a boat and the sea, the wind is calm and everything is nice, mashallah, everything is good. Oh well, there'll be waves and there will be storms that sometimes they could threaten this house. But how could I deal with it? If I'm a good leader, if I can take this house to safety and make sure that I save the house, both of us, then it will be saved by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Taqwa. Look at when you read the glorious Quran and you see even in Surah At-Talaq, look at how many times Allah has mentioned taqwa within the ayahs of talaq. Many times, even in marriage. Look, Surah An-Nisa is a big surah in the glorious Quran. Started with what? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم. The first thing, الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة, created you from a single soul, وخلق منها زوجها, and he created from it its mate, وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء, and he created from them many men and women. واتقوا الله, again, الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. Again, reminding you, Allah is watching you. So fear Allah. This is important. Is when you are in the middle of a conflict, think of, am I doing it right? Am I fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Am I transgressing against my partner? If I give up for anything for Allah's sake, how beautiful the end will be, how good the result will be for me and my partner altogether. But you have to act on it in the right time before it gets out of hand, and then we build on more grudges and have deep wounds in the heart. Once you have deep wounds in the heart, it's not easy to fix. It will take time to heal. That's why the Arab poet says a very famous line of poetry where he says, إِنَّ الْقُلُوبَ إِذَا تَنَافَرَ وُدُّهَا مِثْلُ الزُّجَاجَةِ كَسْرُهَا لَا يُجْبَرُ. When the hearts are broken during a fight, then it's just like breaking glass. Can you bring a glass back again if it's shattered into small pieces? Very difficult. Very difficult. Although I saw a piece of nice piece on a little clip talking about in Japan or China, when a piece of china is broken, what do people do there? They rebuild it again, but they put gold in between and they make a nice piece of china, either a plate or a bowl or anything of that sort. At least they make it look nice, although it's not original, but at least somehow I'm trying to bring it back into function. That's why it's important to have this taqwa and not to transgress borders and step on your partner's foot and give them pain. That is going to affect happiness in the marriage. Okay. Is it? Maybe this is the last one or before the last one before the last one. Self-control and management. Self-control. Coming from where? How would I control myself? You know, subhanallah, the Prophet ﷺ was approached by Al-Ahnaf ibn Qais. a man that Allah gave good qualities. And he was a very, very calm person. And very wise. And Halim, you know, Al-Hilm, which is patience with calmness. People may be patient, but they're patient, but they're just moving. They're not, willing to accept. But this person is very, very calm. And the Prophet ﷺ asked him, "You're so calm and so, mashallah, patient. Is this something that Allah has given you, or is something you earned?" He said, "Allah gave me this." But not too many people are like that. Many people were not born in this way, mashallah. Very calm, very nice, very patient. They have this great quality. They can, deal with anything calmly. Most of the people are just agitated by just a word or a movement. That's why we have to learn how to control ourselves. That's discipline. If we need to discipline the children, we need to discipline ourselves first. Because our children act like us. If we get angry, they get easily angry. If we're calm, they just become calm like us. It's not in the genes, it's in the behavior. Could be in the genes, some people more, they could be easily provoked. But we have to learn how to control ourselves. Discipline ourselves, and it takes time. And we go through this training on a daily basis until we become in control of ourselves, and we can manage situations. See, self-control is something inside us, and we do it as part of our personality and character. But then we manage. How do we manage situations? Is we manage them, mashallah, by being wise, thinking about consequences, good communication, effective, having good ideas about how we can, think about consequences of how things will turn to later on after this, and then things, after the storm is over, the sailing will continue going. That's what happy marriage is all about. I think this is the last one. Very important. Forget and forgive, right? Forget what? Forget what? Past. If something is in the past, then don't bring it back. Some people, when they argue, you said the other day this. And she will say, "Oh yeah, I know you. Even when you were young, you were doing this. You have a bad character, Oh, the other day you said this. Okay, now, you want me to go?" And she keeps writing down all the bad things that he did. "On this day you did this, on this day this, okay. And we start bringing back all the bad history or things that we want to go and put against our partner. Then we're creating bigger trouble than what we have. Already we're bringing the whole past. If you want to be happy, forget about the past. Even if it's bad and terrible, there's no point in bringing it to you. It's just waste of time and pain in the heart. And right now, forgive the present. If I have seen something, which I don't like, I try to forgive. If we ask Allah forgiveness every day, we ask, "Oh Allah, forgive us. Ya Allah, be merciful to us. Oh Ya Allah, we committed wrongdoing. Ya Allah, forgive us." Then you have to learn how to forgive yourself. If you want Allah to forgive you, you have to forgive others. It's just like this, simple. If you do forgive, Allah will forgive you. And as I mentioned today in the khutbah, I think some of the brothers were there, Masjid At Othman, we said that وَمَا زَادَ اللَّهُ عَفْوًا وَمَا زَادَ اللَّهُ عَبْدًا بِعَفْوٍ إِلَّا عِزَّةً. That Allah will increase anyone who gives or who forgives Allah will give him an honor. Allah will compensate him. If you leave and abandon something for Allah's sake, Allah will give you something even better. So if we learn to forgive, and who is deserving forgiveness more than your spouse, your own wife, your own husband? Please, subhanAllah, when we communicate, when we deal with some, we're not as bad with other people, with our colleagues at work, with our friends, with probably relatives. Of course, when, we deal with other people, we try to be gentle and nice and cordial and all that, mashallah. But when it comes home, you try to slash the person, the other person, whipping them. Hardly, and probably you keep being, mashallah, nice with people, but when you go home, everything bad comes out. Why? Say astaghfirullah, take shaitan away. Because you need to deal with these people. Learn how to respect the other person. Wallahi, they will give you more. If you give your husband, he will be so nice to you. If you talk to your wife in a very nice way and be generous to her and kind, she will give you everything that she would have. But we need to learn how to do it. So, not talking about the past and forgiving any problem in the present, we will have pure hearts, clean house, as much as possible. I'm not saying it will be completely, totally clean with, mashallah, birds flying around in the rooms and singing and all that. Well, it's nice to have that feeling, and you can have it, by the way. Even poor people who don't have so much, but they live happily because they have here complacence. Complacence is satisfaction from inside. Allah gave them rida, which is not easily attained. Especially if a person is too materialistic, thinking that no materialistic gains and then no happiness. Wrong formula. The right formula is the more satisfaction you have within your heart, the more happy you'll be. Even if you have less or nothing. A thief came one time to one of the earlier worshippers, earlier times of Islam. He came to him and he was looking for something to steal at night. And he found nothing. And the man was praying. Was praying in the middle of the night. He just find this bowl of water, a very small, very cheap type of carpet. Nothing there. And when he made salam, he said, "MashaAllah, how are you tonight? Okay, did you find something you can take?" He said, "No." He said, "Come and join me for salah. That's even better. Let's spend a good time together, communicating with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." See, it's just only, this person was happy with whatever he had. So this is the most important thing, is really to be satisfied. If you want to have happiness, then please have satisfaction, complacency within your heart, and of course this will bring you happiness in this life and hopefully inshallah in the hereafter. May Allah Ta'ala make you happy and gay and tranquil in this world, in this life, as well as in the hereafter.